Good morning, everyone. So thanks for joining this webinar. Today's webinar, we are going to talk about reports. We will cover some standard reports, custom reports. We will go into specific custom reports. And then at the end, we will have some time for questions and answers. Today we have with us our team leader, Leslie. She will help us also with any questions that you might have.
Standard reports are pre-made reports that cannot be changed. With standard reports, you need to choose a date range and the booking status. There are three categories of standard reports. There is guests and housekeeping reports, occupancy reports, and financial reports. Each category will show you the relevant information from the bookings that are within the date range and the booking status. Now let's go ahead and run an arrivals report for the 3rd of July, only for new or confirmed bookings. There we can see we have two entries, a John Doe and a Jane Doe, both arriving for two different units, two adults each. You see the guest comments and any notes that you might have said on the booking. Now let's have a look at our calendar. We can see we have 3 bookings. This is John Doe, arriving on the 3rd of July, Jane Doe, and there is an extra booking here. But this extra booking is not appearing in the custom report. And this happens because this booking has a status request. So let's go ahead and turn back to our reports. If we enable to show also request bookings, and we run the report again, then we see that we have here the 3rd booking. It is important to understand that bookings will only show in the reports if they are within the selected dates and they have the exact same status that you enable. Now, we also have booking substatus. By default, this is always set to none. If you're using booking substatus and you disable none and you enable any of the other statuses, if a booking does not have the status that you enable, then it will not appear in your report. With standard reports, you can click on show. This will generate a report and show it on your screen, or you can click on XLS where it is available. This will download an Excel file where you can then further edit the report on your computer. Please do read the small description of each report. This will show you what each report will show you. For example, the invoice number reports, assigned invoice numbers. This means that it will only show you any entries on the report from bookings that have an invoice number assigned. Or for example, let's have a look at the monthly revenue, the price field one. Price field value by check-in. This will only show you any bookings which are between our date range. The check-in must be within our date range. Let's have a look at July. We have bookings for July. Let's skip out requests. We won't enable it. So we should see 2 bookings. Let's have a look at monthly revenue, price field by check-in. There, the total is 2,100. Now, if we have a look in our calendar, we should see here at the price field 1,600, this one. The second booking is 500, which is 2,100. And there is also a value here, 1,600. We didn't enable the request booking, so that's why the system did not calculate that. If we enable the request bookings, we keep the same date range, and we run again the report, price field value by check-in, then it's all 3 bookings, 2 times 1,600 and 1 times 500. Now let's also have a look at a different report. Let's have a look at the room charges value by check-in. Now, let's run the report, and we see here 4,800. And why? This is very simple. While the price field takes the values from the price field of the booking, from this field, the other report, the monthly charges, or even the extra charges, but we're going to the room charges. This takes the value from the balance due, or basically from the charges. Okay, so let's run a report without the requests. Let's go ahead on the monthly room charges, and we should see a value which is less, 3,200, which should be this booking, 1,600, and this booking also 1,600. Okay, this is where it takes the value from. So it is important that you have a look at each of the reports, what they will show you. This is basically the general introduction to standard reports. There's not much more in it. So let's go ahead and continue with custom reports. Custom reports are reports that you can set up to show you the information that you choose to view from within a booking. It is important to understand that all the fields in a booking, let's have a look at the booking, all these fields in the booking, they are available in custom reports. What you need to do is drag from the available columns into the show columns. Okay, in this specific case that we have here, we are going to see a report generated, and it's going to show us the booking ID, the property the booking is in, the first night check-in date, the checkout date, and the amount of nights. Okay, this information is all taken from the bookings, and it is shown to you inside the report. Now, it is also important to understand that all the fields, all the report fields that you set up here, this is to fine-tune your report to show you only the specific bookings that you want to view. For example, if you want to see all the bookings inside the system, then you put in check-in from any date, check-in to any date, it doesn't matter. And then the status not canceled. This way, the system will show you all bookings. It will run a report and show you every booking in the system. Okay. So now let's run the report to show us all the bookings that are inside this JoomRest test property that we have been working on. So when we refresh the report, there, these are all the bookings that are inside the test property. Now let's say we want to see bookings, only those 3 bookings that are check-in on the 3rd of July and checkout, I think it's on the, let me see, check-in 3rd of July, checkout it's like the 6th of July or something. Let's just sort this. We go here to select date. We want to see bookings from the, let's put in 3rd of July. And I believe there must be there. These bookings, 2 of September and 2 of December, they're in the future, they're even more in the future than this ones. So if I run a report like this, it will show me the 3 bookings we've been working on, and it will show also this booking and this booking. So we will see 5 bookings in total. Let's refresh this. And there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bookings. If we do not want to see these bookings from September and December, only the July bookings, then we fine-tune this by adding another value, which is checkout to. We put this on select date and we put checkout to 9 of July. What we are basically doing is we're telling the system to show us bookings that have check-in from the 3rd of July and checkout to 9 of July maximum. So this should be only those 3 bookings. And that's correct. Now, there is obviously a lot more you can do with custom reports. We have just been working with with the check-in and check-out dates to filter out some bookings that we have in the system. However, custom reports allow you to basically filter out some very, very specific bookings based on, for example, info codes or based on a booking source. Let's say you want to filter out bookings that are coming for just a specific channel like booking.com, and you can choose the booking source, booking.com. We won't get any results if we run this report because none of the bookings are from booking.com, so this is obvious. Now, I did set some specific info codes on the bookings. So I'm going to show you how you can actually filter out bookings and view the information from the specific booking info codes. For this type of reports, you need to have a specific info code inside the booking, which can be set automatically by an auto action. Okay, we're not going to talk about auto actions or info codes. This will be for another webinar, but let's assume you already have set up an auto action that is going to check if a booking was made with a rate plan with, for example, breakfast. And so if this is true, if the rate plan from booking.com or from Expedia is made inside a property with breakfast included, then the auto action can set an info code in the booking saying that breakfast is included into this booking and also saying the amount of guests. Okay, knowing this, and I'm going to show the info codes. I've set here an info code, food and beverage half board and food and beverage bed and breakfast. Now let's just filter out bookings with the bed and breakfast info code, which is these two bookings. I don't think I've set none here. Okay. We need to set any booking info code. We set food and beverage, bed and breakfast, and we need to have this specific variable from the available columns, which is the booking info specified column. This will actually return the information that is from the food and beverage BB info code, which is the amount of adults. That is what we've said. So let's now do a refresh. It runs the report again, and there, food and beverage BB, one booking 2 adults, another booking 3 adults. Let's have a look. The first booking I had BB 2 adults, and the second booking we have it for 3 adults. Okay, this is just an example. You can use info codes for quite a lot of things. There are basically no limitations to it. And so there are also no limitations to the specific, very specific custom reports that you can generate based on info codes, based on booking source, based on if a payment was made or not. You can even sort this by specific booking fields. API message, does it exist or not? Pending payments, also possible to check only bookings which have a pending payment that has not yet triggered or not. Upsell items, invoice, if there's an invoice issued or not, or even this is for an invoicee. So for a specific invoicee, you will filter out bookings based on whatever information you set here, and it will show you the information that you have on the show column. Now let's have a look at a very, very cool report that we can run. It's actually graphs. We can do a bar graph to check, for example, how many bookings are we getting from each channel. So in this case, what we need are 2 things. We need the on the show column, the original referrer, which is the channel, and we need the quantity, because the system will calculate the amount of bookings from each referrer. Okay, so let's choose, I'm going to choose a big date range. So booking dates from. It doesn't matter the check-in or check-out in this report, in this case, in this example, check-in and check-out dates do not matter. What matters is the dates the booking were made. So I'm choosing from the 1st of January 2021 until today, and then I'm going for the bar graph and sort by referrer, which is each channel. Now let's save this and then show report, and we should see there each channel and the amount of bookings that we are receiving. We can also use a pie chart. Let's say there. Now the cool thing about this specific reports is you can make them available to your dashboard. So we have saved this report as report 11. When we do this in our dashboard, let's unlock the dashboard. And we go here to custom reports and we use 11, which is this one. We put it into our dashboard. There. It will generate exactly the report that we created. So let me show you one more very, very cool report, which we will be using the template variables for this and custom questions. Okay, so I have created a custom question 1, a very simple question, which is, do you agree to the terms of conditions, yes or no? I have already set in the bookings for John. I have said yes, it agrees to the terms of conditions. Jane does not agree to the terms of conditions. Now, let's say we only want to filter out bookings that agree to the terms of conditions. We can do this using template variables. So if we go and have a look at template variables, and we go check the custom questions, custom question 1. Now we put in template variable custom question 1, which what this does, this template variable will actually check what is in here. So do you agree with the terms of conditions? And now I want to see only bookings that agree to the terms of conditions. So I set this logical field to equals and then yes. So we already know that only John agreed to the terms and conditions. So let's save this. Let's refresh, and there. It's the only booking available is John. Sorry, I can even put here the custom question variable. Let me there, custom question 1. Save. Then we can see custom question 1. John agreed to the terms of and conditions. If I put in no, then we will see Jane Doe. No. Okay, so this is a very cool feature. Basically, you can use any template variables. This is also very useful for example, if you have some promotions at booking.com and you want to specifically know bookings with promotions. Normally with booking.com, when you set a promotion, they will send this normally on the rate description. So what you need to do is find the rate description. There, rate description. You would put in here template variable rate description, and then you need to find what name booking.com gives to your promotion. So and then contains and whatever promotion 1 or New Year promotion. So if booking.com would send us a booking and it would have inside the booking, inside the rate description, it would have New Year promo, and you would run this report like this, rate description contains New Year promo. it would actually show you all the bookings with the New Year promo. Okay, so I hope you like this webinar. Before we finish, I would also like to say that most of the examples I gave you, they are available here in our wiki page. You can check here the breakfast report. We talked about specific reports. So, and then also one very, very useful feature, especially for reports, but this is all over BEDS 24, is what we call the context help. If you are in doubt of any of these settings, just click on the context help. It will show you a brief information of what the exact setting does. So thank you very much for listening. We're going to go to some questions and answers now.
Okay, we've now opened up for questions and answers. Thank you everyone for joining. I only have one question at the moment, and I'm not sure whether this was purely for the presentation, but it was from Helen. And you said, can you make the screen bigger to remove the BEDS 24 logo? Was that just for the purpose of the presentation, or is this in general?
Just for the presentation. I found it very hard to actually read what was on the screen. So if you'd removed the actual BEDS 24 logo on the side and made it so we could have seen the screen far better, would have made it a lot easier. Okay. So I must admit that yes, the presentation is good, but you can't actually see what is going on where he's clicking from one place to another.
Okay, thanks for the feedback. The presentation will be available for you to view after the call. So hopefully you'll be able to enlarge the screen and be able to see the screen in more detail. But we'll certainly take that on board for future presentations. Thank you. Okay, we now have a question in French, and I'm sorry, but we don't support French. We only do German and English. So I don't know whether you can re-send your question. Does anybody else have any other questions at the moment? Is it possible to design the report? Didier, can you give me some more detail? What do you mean by that? To print it and make it within a PDF and give it a nice look.
Sorry, can I jump in here, Leslie?
Yep.
For this question, perhaps it's best if you download the report as an Excel file, then you can change it to whatever you like in Excel and print it the way you want it. There are some layouts for reports. You have a tabular layout, you have multiple layouts that you can choose from, but outside of this layouts that we have, it's not really possible to, make it on any other way, unless you really download it as an Excel file and you do it in Excel. By the way, I just want to point out one more thing in reports, which I talked in standard reports about the price fields with standard reports. Now, it is important, and I want to point this out, it is important to understand that the price field, whenever there's a change in a booking from a channel, the price field does not necessarily get updated. So this can cause some discrepancies in the standard reports.
Yeah. Okay, just going back to some questions. So as Uri said, the formatting the formatting is as it is, and you can either export to Excel. But one of the other questions we have is PDF and automatically getting the report sent out. We do actually have a feature called routines, which you can use to automatically email a report to yourself, which will actually come in a PDF format. And that you will find the routine under accounts. and there you can actually specify which report you want and the details with regards to that particular routine, and the timeline for these to be printed or sent to you as an email, sorry. One other question we have here is how can we have cleaning fees from Airbnb and Booking.com on the same custom report?
So that's possible. You can actually, in the custom report, choose which charges to show. So the charges on line 1, line 2, or line 3. So you need to check with each channel where they actually set the charges that you want to show in the report and choose those lines. So you choose those lines from the available column and you put it into the show column.
Okay, a bit more information, Uri, with regards to the Excel file. The Excel file, is it already organized or is it just a bunch of data?
No, it should be already organized. It's quite easy to work with.
Okay,
You can also download it instead of an Excel. You can also download it as a CSV file. That might be even easier to actually work with.
Okay, we have a question from Mike that says, I would like to create a report I can run daily that shows all bookings ending that day, and I would like to show the checkout time. Base 24, you can set an arrival time for the booking, but no checkout time. I have created an info code checkout time and I have the time there. Can I run a report as above, sort by the checkout time? It helps me work the order of the checkouts on that day.
So yes, it is possible to run this type of report and show you the info code for checkout time. I would, however, need to check if we can actually sort this by checkout time. I don't think this will be possible. So, but I'll if you send us a support ticket with this question, I'll do a little bit research and then I'll answer.
Okay, another question. Can you show me how auto actions work for automatic messages to travelers? That's actually for a different webinar. This one's all about reports, and auto actions is a completely different webinar, which we will actually be picking up next week. If you've got specific requirements, then if you can send us, as Uri says already, support ticket, then we'll be happy to help you with that. Otherwise, you can go to, on the Beds 24 page, you can go to guest management auto actions, and then you can click on the help page and you will find the instructions there with lots of different examples of how you can actually send messages to your travellers, either through the message service from Booking.com or Expedia, or through emails and SMS. Okay, is there any more questions with regards to reports? Okay, we've got one here. The section on terms and conditions acceptance, is there somewhere on the help pages that covers this?
Yes, there is. It's actually, I think it's on the reports wiki page. I think there's already a section about this. But if you write, I believe if you write terms and conditions just on the wiki page, on the search function of the wiki page, it will bring you to this example.
Another question, can you show me how it works for the deposit?
Can you please elaborate that?
Is this to do with being able to collect a deposit from a guest? Is it an auto action? Can you give us some more details, please? Just thinking the questions that you've asked here with regards to the deposit and also the auto actions, you might actually be better joining the call on Thursday, we've got the webinar of how to get started, which also we briefly cover how auto actions and how you can set these things up. Because I assume if this is to do with sending a request to a guest to make a payment for a deposit, then that can be managed via auto actions. And again, there's actual examples in the auto actions help page, the wiki page. But again, if you need more details, then you send the support ticket and we'll actually pick that up with you based on your particular requirements. Okay, when attempting to customize a report, can you drag and drop the payments field as an additional column?
The payment fields as an addition. I'm not sure what you mean here. Do you mean do you mean any on the available column to put it on the show column?
I think that's the question, really, yeah.
Can you drag and drop the payments field as an additional column? That's possible. The payments fields, that is possible. There are multiple available columns for payments or charges, invoice items. Just need to check which one you want to use.
Yeah, there's a number of payment fields within the available columns.
Yeah.
Under the reports, you have payment item description, item amount, item date. You also have the invoice payment value.
There's a lot of, most of the fields of the booking are available from the available column that you can put into the show column. So you just need to find out which one you want to use. So there are how to deduct the commission of the reservation platforms in a personalized report. There are multiple ways you can do this. There is actually a report that show you how you can run a owner's report. So that's the full amount minus a commission for the owner or something. You can do this either by manually inserting a template variable to deduct 10% of the balance due or the price field, or you can actually create a auto action to automatically set a percentage in an info code and then use that info code to deduct from the total amount.
Yeah, I think that answered the question that we have, is how to deduct the commissions of the reservation platforms in the personalised report.
Yeah.
So as Uri said, there's a couple of different examples that's available, either on the reports page, but also from an auto action perspective, you can use the booking info codes, and they're very powerful when it comes to reporting.
Yes, auto actions and reports and info codes, they go along really well, and there's really no limits to what you can do with them.
Okay, have we got any more questions from anyone?
I've got a question, if that's all right.
Yep.
I've only just managed to jump on it, so I've missed everything. My quick question is, when will it be? When will the recording be on the wiki pages or available somewhere?
This morning. We'll get
amazing.
that loaded up. Yeah, won't be long.
Thanks.
Okay, we've got one question here that says, hello, last month I had difficulties with the standard report, especially with the occupancy rates. The Excel file generated had errors in the number of nights for the period selected. For instance, the month of May has 31 days, but I noticed it was all calculated on 30 days. At some point, the number of nights occupied exceeded 31. How can I solve this from my side, please?
Okay, this is a question that perhaps it would be best if you send us a support ticket and a screenshot of what you see. but from the sounds of it, it might actually be Excel. You need to format your cells. You might need to format your cells for dates. This might be the issue. So, but send us a support ticket with this question. We will have a look.
Okay, we've got another question again. Can you present and show us the platform? Mamadou, again, is this with regards to how Beds24 works, or is this specifically related to reports? If it's specifically related to reports, then yep, Uri can present again and show you the details. If this is just how the platform Beds24 works, again, we've got a webinar on Thursday that details how getting started with Beds24, or if you've got specific questions, then please send us a support ticket. We'll be happy to help. Okay, I don't see any more questions at the moment, Uri, with regards to your reports.
Yeah. So I think that's it.
Yep.
So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you send us any support tickets with suggestions or whatever, it's very much appreciated. It's the first time I did it, so obviously I want to improve also this webinars, and I'm happy to do a lot more. So if you have any suggestions, feel free. Thank you.
You can check the details on the next round of webinars on the webinar page, on the wiki page within Beds24, and there you'll also be able to pick up the webinars that have already gone forward, and this one will also be included to the link. Okay, thanks very much everyone for joining.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Bye. Have a nice day.